Tan Songyun finally responds. Her emotional message to Soo Kai revealed. The entertainment world has been buzzing for weeks. The swirling rumors, the behind-the-scenes whispers, the stolen glances that fans catch in grainy photos and turn into entire love stories. And at the center of it all, two of the brightest stars in the Chinese drama universe, Soo Kai and Tan Songyun. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. After weeks of silence, speculation, and unanswered questions, Tan Songyun has finally broken her silence, and her words aimed straight at Soo Kai are leaving fans breathless. It all began in the days following an emotional storm that swept across both their lives. Soo Kai had recently been in the spotlight for a deeply vulnerable moment, a tearful confession on set that fans believe revealed more than just scripted emotion. Clips of him, voice shaking, eyes glistening, speaking about someone who makes the world feel lighter just by being in it, spread like wildfire. Social media lit up with one question. Was he talking about Tan Songyun? For weeks, Tan Songyun said nothing. Not a word in interviews. Not a hint on social media. She smiled for the cameras, did her work, and let the speculation swirl around her like a storm she had chosen to weather in silence. But silence, as fans know, can only last so long. 2 nights ago, without warning, a post appeared on Tan Songyun's official Weibo. It wasn't flashy. No glamorous photo shoot. No polished press statement. Just a single softly lit image. Her holding a bouquet of white camellias, sitting by a window with the evening light falling across her face. And beneath it, only a few lines of text. She began with gratitude, thanking her fans for their patience, for respecting her quiet over the past few weeks. But then, almost as if she had decided in that moment to put an end to all the guessing, she wrote, "There are people in life who enter not with a loud knock, but like sunlight through a half-open curtain, warm, gentle, and impossible to ignore. I am grateful to have such a person by my side, someone who sees me as I am and still chooses to stay." Those words were enough to send the internet into a frenzy. To many it was clear. This was her answer to Soo Kai's emotional moment. The poetic imagery, the tone of intimacy, the unshakable feeling that she wasn't just speaking in generalities. She was speaking to someone. And that someone was him. But it didn't end there. Within an hour, eagle-eyed fans noticed that Soo Kai himself had quietly liked the post. He didn't comment, didn't repost. Just a single, almost secretive like. But in the language of modern romance, that one click was as loud as any public declaration. Industry insiders have since whispered that this moment, Tan Songyun's post, Soo Kai's silent acknowledgement, was not a publicity stunt. It wasn't planned by their agencies. In fact, a source close to Tan Songyun revealed that she wrote the post in the middle of the night after re-watching old behind-the-scenes footage of their last drama together. She had been reminded of a particular day. A long, rainy shoot where Soo Kai, despite being exhausted himself, stayed behind on set long after his scenes were done, just to keep her company during hers. And now, with her words finally out in the open, fans are connecting the dots in real time. Threads are filling with side-by-side screenshots of Soo Kai's past interviews and Tan Songyun's message, pointing out moments where their feelings seemed to mirror each other. Fan edits pairing her sunlight through a half-open curtain line with clips of them laughing together are already hitting millions of views. But perhaps the most telling reaction came not from fans, but from Soo Kai himself. Just hours after her post, he uploaded something to his own social media. A simple black and white photo of a clapperboard from their last project together. No caption. No explanation. But in the corner of the image, barely noticeable unless you looked closely, were 2 words written in marker. For you. The emotional weight of these quiet exchanges has left the industry in awe. In an era where celebrity relationships are often denied, hidden, or turned into PR spectacles, Soo Kai and Tan Songyun's interaction feels like something else entirely. Something slower, more deliberate, and deeply personal. And yet, they haven't officially confirmed anything. No one has said the words, "We are together." But maybe they don't need to. Maybe for them the magic is in the unspoken, In the poetic lines, the subtle gestures, the silent likes. Maybe the truth isn't in an announcement, but in the spaces between their words. For now, fans are left watching closely, waiting to see what happens next. Will Soo Kai respond directly in his own words? Will we see them together again in public? Or will their story continue to unfold in this quiet, delicate way, piece by piece, post by post, until one day it simply feels like we've always known? One thing is certain. Tan Songyun's emotional message has changed everything. It has turned speculation into something almost certain, left fans holding their breath for the next chapter, and reminded us all that sometimes, the most powerful confessions don't need to say everything out loud. It has been 3 days since Tan Songyun's quiet yet heart-stopping post, the one that set the internet ablaze, the one that fans believe was her way of telling the world, and Soo Kai himself, that there is someone she sees as her sunlight. For 3 days Soo Kai said nothing. No interviews, no public appearances, not even the usual light-hearted updates his followers are used to. His silence became the loudest sound on social media. Was he thinking about what to say? Was he holding back because of management? Or was he preparing something bigger? Last night, just as the clock neared midnight, an alert pinged across fan notifications everywhere. Soo Kai had posted. At first glance it seemed simple. A short video, no flashy editing, just him sitting in a warmly lit room. But as the camera steadied, it became clear this wasn't a casual update. He was wearing the same gray sweater fans had once seen him wear during late-night rehearsals with Tan Songyun, a sweater she had once jokingly called the world's softest in a behind-the-scenes clip. His hair was slightly messy, his expression thoughtful. And then he began to speak. He didn't start with an introduction. He didn't try to mask what he felt with jokes or small talk. His voice was quiet, almost hesitant at first. "You once said," he began, eyes glancing away for a moment, "that people who matter most are the ones who can see the real you, the tired you, the unsure you, and still stay. I've been thinking about that a lot lately." There was a long pause. The kind of pause that feels heavy with everything unspoken. He took a slow breath, and when he looked back at the camera, his eyes were steady. "You're right. There are people who enter your life like sunlight through a half-open curtain. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you realize that sunlight is something you never want to live without." Fans watching in real time said they felt their hearts race. The reference was unmistakable. He was answering her metaphor with his own. He went on to share a memory. Not one from a glamorous red carpet or an award ceremony, but a simple, ordinary day during filming. He described a moment when they had wrapped a difficult scene, and while the crew moved on, she stayed behind to help him run his lines for the next day. No cameras, no audience, just the two of them sitting on a wooden bench, sharing a packet of biscuits. "I didn't realize it at the time," he said softly, "but that was when I knew you were different. You weren't there because you had to be. You stayed because you wanted to." The sincerity in his tone was undeniable. As he spoke, his voice wavered just slightly, not the way it had during his earlier emotional moment on set, but in a way that felt even more vulnerable. He ended his message with something so simple, yet so direct, that fans could barely contain their reactions. "You don't have to say anything more. I understood every word you wrote. And I'll be here, whether the curtain is open or not." The video ended there. No dramatic music, no fade-out text. Just the click of the recording stopping. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Hashtags surged to the top of trending lists. Fans were replaying the video on loop, dissecting every pause, every glance, every inflection. Couples' accounts were already cutting together edits pairing his words with clips of them from past dramas, fan meetings, and behind-the-scenes bloopers. But the most emotional reaction came from Tan Songyun herself. Just 30 minutes after his post went live, she quietly updated her profile picture. Not to a solo image, but to a photo taken during the wrap party of their last drama. In it, Soo Kai is looking off camera, laughing, while she stands beside him with that signature bright-eyed smile. No caption. No statement. Just a picture. And to their fans that was enough. Insiders are now saying that both agencies are under pressure to address the situation officially, as media outlets flood them with requests for confirmation. But perhaps, like their recent exchanges, the two stars prefer to speak in their own way, with metaphors, memories, and gestures that mean more than any press release ever could. Right now, the question on everyone's lips is, will we see them together publicly soon? There are whispers that both Soo Kai and Tan Songyun are scheduled to appear at the same charity gala next month. If that happens, it could be the first time they stand side by side since this entire chain of events began. Until then, one thing is certain. Soo Kai's midnight message has not only deepened the intrigue, it has turned what fans once called rumors into something that feels like an unfolding love story. One that the entire world is now watching with bated breath. And if this story touched you, subscribe and share it so we can keep his memory alive together.